Day, we were discussing the recent election and some important issues that divide both parties. One of these issues is global warming. Our Theory of Knowledge mid-year presentation explores emotion and global warming.
Our RLS is the Paris Agreement created in New York in 2015, but became effective on November 4, 2016. After exploring the human sciences area of knowledge, we were introduced to this real-life situation because human sciences is what causes different human behaviors and consequently different beliefs. Hence, people would have different beliefs on global warming. This is specifically taken from an article. The Paris Agreement brought approximately 200 nations together to create efforts to combat climate change. The aim created from this agreement was to limit the rise of global temperature below 2 degrees Celsius and eventually 1.5 degrees Celsius. During this conference, the countries created plans for financial flows and new technology that would aid in their efforts. The Paris Agreement also included steps for nations to take in order to accomplish these efforts towards reducing global warming. They agreed that there would be global stocktake every 5 years in order to reassess where the progress is towards achieving this agreement.
Based on our real-life situation of the Paris Agreement, we found some first-order claims in the article. One first-order claim is that the conference that created the agreement was aimed at the creation of a universally, legally binding agreement to enable countries to combat climate change effectively.
From here, we found some potential ways of knowledge to explore, such as reason, emotion, and faith. Reason is one potential way of knowing to explore because certain individuals might rely on logic in order to justify their viewpoints on an issue. Faith is also a potential way of knowing because particular beliefs or religious ideas may impact a person's perspective. For emotion, any specific type may influence a viewpoint on an issue. Some ToK concepts to explore include personal versus shared knowledge. These ways of knowing and ToK concepts brought us towards the second-order claim that personal knowledge on an event affects the person's view of the shared knowledge of that same event. The personal knowledge of fear that people harbor towards climate change influences their viewpoint on the shared knowledge of global warming effects and causes them to disregard global warming as a world issue.
Through this developmental process, we were introduced to a knowledge question of, to what extent does emotion influence our acceptance of shared knowledge? Our knowledge question addresses emotion and its impact on our acceptance of shared knowledge, and this directly correlates to our RLS, as our real-life situation discusses global warming and the Paris Agreement that was established in order to raise awareness about the issue and confirm that this phenomenon is real. However, some individuals refuse to accept that global warming is real, something that is considered to be shared knowledge, because perhaps they fear what this phenomenon will result in. That provokes the question, to what extent does our emotion influence our acceptance of shared knowledge?
To go about answering our knowledge question, it is important to consider what emotions could influence our judgment. Based on this subsidiary question, we were brought to our first perspective of Hitler's Aryan race philosophy. Hitler's childhood in Vienna contributed to his anti-Semitic views because in the town he lived in, the mayor was anti-Semitic and that town in which he grew up in was anti-Semitic. From this, we arrived to the following claim. Emotion can be based on experiences because emotion is rooted in a person's past occurrences. These experiences influence how a person perceives shared knowledge. We arrived here because it can be seen that Hitler did not invent the hatred towards Jews. Hitler was around anti-Semitism his entire life. Based on Hitler's experience in childhood and Hitler's views towards his political models, which also held anti-Semitic beliefs, helped formulate Hitler's emotion towards Jews. The angry emotion made Hitler not believe that what he was doing to Jews, including the extermination of them, was not good. There was shared knowledge. The extermination was not good. However, Hitler's emotions clouded the shared knowledge.
This perspective relates to the AOK of history because Adolf Hitler was a historical figure during World War I and World War II. Our further exploration into this perspective found that past experiences can evoke a person's emotion on a particular issue, and therefore influence the way in which that person accepts what is generally believed. This shows how emotion plays a significant role in the extent to which an individual accepts what is generally known to be true or shared knowledge. The shared knowledge in this scenario is that there is persecution present towards Jews, but this persecution is negatively affecting the life of Jews. If a person feels a strong emotion towards a certain population, his or her beliefs about that group of people will be strongly influenced by their personal emotions, regardless of whether the popular viewpoint is contrasting to their emotions. Hitler's disdain of Jews from past experiences made him disregard the shared knowledge that the extermination of Jews is inhumane, which caused him to continue his discrimination towards them.
Another subsidiary question we found through our knowledge question was whether if emotion is necessary to accept shared knowledge. This subsidiary question led us towards our second perspective of Henry M. Morris's doubts of evolution. Although he may have many degrees, it is his emotion that causes his doubt, which proves that emotion is necessary to accept shared knowledge. In our investigation, we found that Henry M. Morris, who is considered to be the father of creation science and is a Christian apologist, Morris is a firm believer that there are no errors in the Bible. Therefore, we arrive to this following counterclaim. Because emotion is rooted in personal beliefs, a person's beliefs largely influence an individual's perception of shared knowledge. We arrived here because based on the beliefs that Morris has on Christianity, he created several creationist institutes. Therefore, it can be seen that with Morris and others similar to their beliefs rooted in their religion causes them to refute scientific evidence. The religion causes the emotions to refute the shared knowledge that evolution does exist.
This second perspective is under the AoK of natural science, because evolution is the process by which organisms are thought to have diversified from earlier forms. In our further exploration into this second perspective, we found that religion causes the person to have positions on a certain belief. Therefore, emotion plays a role in the accepting of other beliefs because a person who has been following a religion for a long time or holding a position for a long time does not want to automatically refute their opinions by a new phenomenon. The shared knowledge in this case is that evolution does exist. Therefore, by a person's emotion of being stubborn or not wanting to wrong their beliefs, it can be seen how positions and ways of thinking create emotion. The emotion largely influences a person's acceptance or of shared knowledge, even when the shared knowledge has evidence to support it. Morris's religion creates doubting emotions towards the shared knowledge that evolution exists.
Considering our two perspectives, we can attempt to conclude that emotion largely influences our acceptance towards shared knowledge. This is because our emotions are based on past experiences and religion. This is seen in perspectives 1 and 2, when Hitler's anti-Semitism began within his childhood and Henry M. Morris's doubts of evolution came from his religion of Christianity. Most people do not want to go against what happened in the past and do not want to go against their religion. Therefore, the emotion that is evoked from these experiences and religions cause people to hold certain beliefs towards events. The emotion can skew a person's acceptance of shared knowledge. The shared knowledge can have evidence supporting it. However, the emotion the person has overpowers the evidence and will cause a person to refute or accept the shared knowledge, since they do not want to discredit their emotions that are derived from their beliefs.
In conclusion, we claim that emotion largely influences our acceptance towards shared knowledge, and that emotions are derived from a person's past experience and religion. This same attitude is significant to our RLS of the Paris Agreement. This is because the Paris Agreement was made because hundreds of nations saw the negative effects that global warming has on the world, so the nations wanted to come together and fix this problem. Therefore, the emotions that are evoked from experiences, in the case of our RLS, the experience of seeing the negative effects of global warming, emotions of fear and concern from the ambassadors of nations were created. The emotions of fear and concern prompted the Paris Agreement, and since fearful emotions were created, the shared knowledge of the fact that global warming is present in the world was accepted by nations that took part in the creation of the Paris Agreement, since they came together to fix the problem.
Our knowledge question is important on a global scale. We have a second RLS to prove this. A study completed by professors at the Miami University of Ohio and Florida State University suggests that ACC and Big 12 referees generally penalize home teams less during games against rivals. For example, according to the study, favored Big 10 teams are penalized fewer yards when playing rival teams. This RLS illustrates how a referee's emotions may influence his or her call during a game. Even though a particular sports play might be generally accepted to be fair by the players and spectators, a referee's personal emotion may influence his or her acceptance of this shared knowledge that the opposing team did not actually commit a foul play. Sports play a large role in international culture, and this situation has the potential to create chaos among audiences across the globe, demonstrating its global significance. This RLS brings up follow-up questions such as what other aspects influence the referee's team bias, and to what extent are emotions involved in sports. With the study of this new RLS, further areas of exploration arise that need to be explored in order to properly address these questions. These areas could include the development of emotion, specific sports officials who favor teams, as well as a number of other aspects that influence team bias. This new RLS allows us to look at the KQ from a new perspective of culture, sports.
Thank you.